What makes a city livable, what makes it really neighborly, is fundamentally the distance between people. I would say that a street like this one right here, where we are in Notre-Dame-de-Grâce, the distances are probably about average for most cities. We're looking at a distance of about 100 feet from face to face, from house on one side to the house on the other side. We're looking at homes like these right here, where the houses are together. They either share a common wall, or they're separated by just a few feet. This means that when neighbors pop out of their homes, they automatically see their own neighbors, and they tend to say hi, they tend to exchange greetings, they tend to get along, they know each other. That's the key thing, they know each other. If you get a suburban milieu where houses are, say, 150 feet apart, face to face, and if they're separated from each other by 50, 60 feet, well, then you might know one or two neighbors, but not a lot. And fundamentally, you can avoid people much more easily. On the other hand, if you're in a high-rise apartment situation, we're a little bit too close. In that case, you are all standing in the elevator, you're pretending you don't see each other. So there's that critical question then of social distance, which is, I think, important. Another part of neighborliness is, I think, the street furniture, the vegetative cover, the whole architectural environment of the city and the landscape environment. A neighborhood like NDG, for example, has porches. Every house virtually has a great big porch, balcony of some sort. It's a lingering space, and that's important too, where people can linger for a while, they can talk to the neighbor across from one balcony to another, or a plateau with its triplexes has balconies, and again, people get out on the balconies, they might sit for a while, they can call across each other with, from one balcony to the other. That promotes neighborliness, and that promotes friendly relations. Trees help too. I find that when you've got trees, there's kind of a framework there, sort of a friendly vegetative framework that people like to stand under, talk under. The shade issue, all these things are also factors that help in neighborliness. Another aspect of neighborliness is backyards. We often forget that, but backyards is also where you meet neighbors, perhaps on a much more intimate level, and of fewer neighbors. You're really just your immediate neighbors. But it's very important, and again, distance is a really critical factor here. If you take a neighborhood like NDG, the yards are approximately 26 feet wide. 26 feet wide means that you've got a neighbor right here, a neighbor right here, that you get to know very, very well. You talk across the fence, you meet, you even get to talk to people at the back as well. So you get to meet about 4 or 5 neighbors that you get to know quite well. In a more suburban environment where backyards tend to be much, much larger, say 100 feet wide, 50 feet deep, then you don't tend to know perhaps anybody except the immediate neighbor. But more importantly, when you go out to your backyard, you don't have to really speak to a neighbor. You can ignore them totally. In a context like this, it's hard to ignore them. So you say hi, you chat, but you still have your privacy as well. So there's a kind of a delicate mix. It's a very, very delicate mix between privacy and neighborliness, which does work in an environment if the distances just work out right. And that's critical.